Class is in session. MLB hitting the book show Friday, June 20th. Ian Cameron, Connor Mack with you. I've certainly been feeling better on past editions of the show than I do today. We're still battling a sore throat, so I'm going to try to keep my analysis a little bit shorter than normal here today. Preserve the old vocal cords, but we're here. We're powering through it. We want to do a show for you here before the weekend. A shout out to everybody. Friday MLB card. Let's go.
Uh-oh. Hold on. Am I good? I was freezing there. Maybe I'll bounce out.
Appearing too. Hold on. There we go.
Good.
All right. There we go.
Okay.
All right. Excellent.
Well,
we're back.
Oh, fuck.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I thought is it my connection? Because my connection was kind of going in and out too. But yeah, we're solid. We're back on track here. So where were we? Texas and Pittsburgh, right? I don't trust either of these offenses, quite honestly. And these are actually two pitchers that have been Jacob deGrom's actually been very solid. There's been so many games where he's pitched well and they haven't hit for him. They haven't given him run support, but he's had a pretty solid year. And Burrows has actually pitched a little bit better than people thought, and he's pitching it here in Pittsburgh, so it's probably a little bit of a better fit for him. So the under's the first thing that stuck out to me here in this game. I don't want to fade. There's a pass from a side perspective because I don't want to fade DeGrom. I want to be on DeGrom, but there's no fucking way I want to be on DeGrom and specifically the Texas Rangers team as a minus 160 favorite on the road where they've had some issues this year. So it's a lean to the under. Nothing much more than that. C-Mac, how about you here? Texas, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I mean, at this price, I know with DeGrom on the mound, I mean, 13 and 23, the bats just haven't been there. When are they going to wake up? I think it'll be soon, but it might not be this month. We might be looking July or after. Yeah, I think Burrows, he got really hit around that first start, but I think he's got decent stuff. I think he's going to be an all right starter. Pittsburgh after the doubleheader, this just seems like flat spot. I look at their team total under. I like the unders too here. First 5 full game, I don't mind it, especially if you can still get to 7.5. I know there's some 7s out there now, starting to peak.
All right, next up, we got Tigers and Rays. Jack Flaherty, Shane Baz, the pitching matchup, minus 110, even money, both sides, 8, 7.5, the total in this game. A lot of money coming in on the under, by the way. It was 8.5. It's down to 8. 7.5 is starting to show up. So this is a big move toward the under here. Even though the numbers lately for both pitchers haven't been great. Flaherty started strong. It's been a little bit more hittable lately. And Baz has just had a disappointing season. I sure as hell expected better from him than what we have seen so far. I lost with Tampa Bay last night as Baltimore got the better of them, which was just a disappointing start from Rasmussen, who's pitched pretty well. I'm not running to come back to Tampa Bay here, but I don't want to fade him either. They played pretty well with Flaherty, who's kind of shown some problematic signs here in some of his recent starts. So it's a pass for me. I hate to do that, but yeah, I got nothing here. C-Mac, what do you think? Detroit, Tampa.
Yeah, I think this is a little bit of a coin flip. Wanted to double check who was behind the plate here. I think Flaherty, after that, pitching better, then he finally has another rough start in his last one. I wanted to double check. Oh, DeJesus. Okay, more of an over-up. But this is going from 8.5 to 8. I mean, I'd look under. I think he could pitch better, but I don't trust him. Tigers have been just good on the road. They're coming off the doubleheader. I get why people want the Rays. Started to play better baseball, of course, even though they lost yesterday, like you talked about. And now look at home. They're 3 games over 500 after the horrible start. So this was tough for me. I couldn't fade Detroit as much as I kind of like Tampa here. So I'm off. Lean under.
All right, White Sox and Blue Jays. We've got, we were supposed to have Davis Martin on the mound here for the White Sox, but I believe it's a pitching change here. They're going to go now to Grant Taylor instead. Spencer Turnbull who's a guy that's been around the block. Tigers, he's been with a few teams. He'll get the opportunity here. We've got the Blue Jays minus 200 home favorites, 9 the total actually here in this one. Grant Taylor, so far this season, we look at what he's been able to do here for the White Sox. We'll have to see. He's basically, a guy that, when you look at his profile, how's he going to fare? We'll have to see. He's been primarily out of the bullpen. Spot start is what he's going to get here. Blue Jays are hitting. That much we know. Until yesterday, they got shut down a bit by Arizona, but their bats are swinging pretty well. I bet Blue Jays team total here in this game, over 4.5 at minus 130. I think they could probably score 5 here in this game. What do you get from Spencer Turnbull? That's the question. Is he going to struggle like some of these Jays pitchers have that get the opportunity? Or is he going to be like maybe Eric Lauer, who's actually pitched solid in recent starts for the Blue Jays in these spot opportunities? And Spencer Turnbull's pretty experienced. He's been around the block. Like I said, it's a guy that's pitched in the major leagues for a few teams in the past. Last year with the Phillies, all Tigers before that. So Cardinals as well. So we'll see how he fares here in this one. Mostly with the Tigers, though, his career, and then a little bit with the Phillies last year. Pretty good numbers last year, when he was with Philly, 2.65 ERA. He's made 2 appearances for the Jays this year. Small sample size, but 2.08 ERA. I like the Jays team total over here more than anything. C-Mac, how about you?
I kind of lean over. I can't trust it here though with the White Sox. Yeah. Turnbull, he's in his starts down in the minors too this year. It's like he gives it 1 run, or is this the old guy that was in the majors for all these years? He gives it 5. It's like 1-5, 1-5. And he's only going to go a few innings, I think, here. Maybe just one time through the lineup. So a little bit of a bullpen day for both teams. The Jays, you talked about, the bats have been hotter at home.
Alexander, I should point out, is the primary pitcher. Taylor for the White Sox. And his numbers aren't good, 5.73 ERA. So
Jays have been hitting lefties. That's just what I was going to say. So, yeah, and this is the Rogers Center open today, maybe? There's pretty good weather, right?
Might be. There's a chance of showers. If the rain stays away, they will open the roof this weekend because it's going to be hot as fuck here in southern Ontario this weekend.
Well, a lot of places, as long as it's like under 90, right? They'll have it open there?
Yeah.
Like 75 to 85 type?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So I like the over here. I like the full game over too, but I like the Jays part of it even more.
Yeah, I get it.
All right, Atlanta and Miami. We've got Fuentes on the mound here for the Atlanta Braves in this one, taking Didier Fuentes. And look at this. Look who's back in our lives again. This guy was with the Angels for a bit. I remember him. That name, you cannot forget it. Jansen Junk for the Miami Marlins, getting the start here. Get that junk out of here. Atlanta minus 150, road favorites. Yeah, 9 the total. I mean, I automatically with these two guys lean to the over. Atlanta was hitting a little bit in that series against the Mets. Very impressive. Swept the Mets, the Atlanta Braves. I didn't see that coming, but what a series that was for them. They're swinging the bats a little bit right now. The Marlins, not so much, but I don't know if I've got a ton of upside here for Didier Fuentes here for this Braves team. You look at him, he's basically making his major league debut. High A to Gwinnett. And, this is just a spot start. They've really rushed him to the majors. Like this guy's start was in single A ball, to begin the year. How ready is he for the major leagues? So I don't know how sharp he's going to be. They're probably going to keep him on a short leash. See a lot of Braves bullpen. I don't know if that's a good thing. Miami hasn't been hitting great lately, but got to think they can do some damage. And I don't trust Jansen Junk. I've seen enough Jansen Junk. I don't think he's that great going back to his time with the Angels. So over would be the play here for me. C-Mac, Atlanta, Miami.
Yeah, I mean, I see some runs. I just don't know what we get from Fuentes. Really, both these guys. Junk's done all right, in some stretches where he's pitched, but now getting back to starting, really, I don't know here. And Fuentes down in the minors, his starts have been all right. He had a couple bad early ones. And that's Double-A too, right? Or is he in Triple-A?
Yeah, single A and then double A. And then, like, he's been rushed right up here to the
all three of these this year.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, all three levels. Yep.
All three levels. Yeah, it's just tough for me because I don't know what we get. Maybe the Marlins, can get to him with this lineup, and it seems like they could score a run. So I don't blame you with the over. I lean the Marlins. Braves are starting to win some games. They're creeping up here. For them, they could be a few games over 500 by the break. They're already just 5 games back now. So look out on the Braves.
I don't know if quality of depth of pitching has ever been worse than it is right now. Like, this guy shouldn't be up here, Fuentes. He started the year in single A. I'm looking at the numbers. Like, how
he's
is
20,
he
right?
Ready? Yeah. I mean, he started the year in triple A and only got 3 starts down there. He got 5 starts in double A. He had 1 start at triple A, and now he's pitching for the Atlanta Braves. How can this guy possibly be ready for something like this? Now, it is the Marlins, and they can sometimes make a guy like this look good, but still,
it's like fade or stay off, but then there's junk. It's just kind of the game when we have like a full card where I'm like, let's see. Yeah.
Better options. Maybe this one is a better option. Orioles, Yankees. We've got Max Fried and Tomoyaki Sugano for the Orioles. Yankees minus 320. Home favorites, 9 the total, shaded to the under. Yankees finally yesterday against the LA Angels. The bats came to play. Just a dreadful, dismal offense for 4 games, scoring 2 runs in 4 games combined. But they finally bust out. They get 7 yesterday in the win against the Angels. Can they keep it rolling here? Sugano's a fly ball pitcher, and he could struggle in this kind of environment. He's given up 7 runs in his last 9 innings, which isn't great. He's given up a home run in 4 of the last 5 starts. That's not what you want to see here at Yankee Stadium. Meanwhile, Max Fried just continues to really be impressive. Other than one rough game against the Dodgers, he's really been lights out, rock solid, 2 runs or less earned, allowed in just about every start other than that. So certainly I'd expect the Yankees to have the edge and win, but I'm minus 310. There's no way I can get there at that kind of a price. So pass for me. I'd prefer the team total route if I were to bet the Yankees here, but I'm not ready to just hop on Yankees to score runs with the team total 5.5. I know they finally did yesterday, 7, but the winds were just blowing dead out yesterday at Yankee Stadium, and that probably helped them out a little bit. With how dead the bats were and just 1 game and they have 7 runs, I'm not ready to just step in and say, let's bet a Yankee team total over. I need to see a little bit more. C-Mac, what do you think?
Well, the wind's blowing out again here. Not as bad yesterday, but it's solid 10 miles an hour, and cheap home runs could be there. So I was kind of glancing at some of these Yankees because Sugano, you talked about fly ball pitcher. Fried, I don't love that because it's kind of decent weather. Because Fried's been so good. O's, and even how better they've been a little bit lately, the last 2 weeks, they're still like 27th, 28th against lefties all year. They just haven't hit them. They've just been dog shit. Just from a few years ago, they're really good against lefties. So I looked at their team total. So it's like kind of just matches up. Yankees team total over, O's team total under. The 3.5, I saw a few minus 130 under, or even the first 5, 1.5 is right around minus 120. I think Free could be good here again.
Mets and Phillies. We've got the Phillies minus 190, home favorites 8.5 the total. Wheeler in the sky keeps on turning. We got to do the old deeper voice when we sing now with the sore throat, but there you go. Zach Wheeler for the Philadelphia Phillies, and we've got Tidwell getting the start here for the New York Mets in this one. Zach Wheeler's been just very, very like he had 1 rough outing against Atlanta, and other than that, he's been just consistent, really strong, one of the better pitchers in the NL this year. We'll see how he fares here. Now, Blade Tidwell has gotten 1 start already this year for the Mets, and it didn't go well. He gave up 6 runs, 9 hits, 3.2 innings against the St. Louis Cardinals in that game. This is a huge series, battle for first place here in the NL East, with the Mets all of a sudden slumping and limping right now. A brutal series for them in Atlanta, and Philadelphia on a roll. All of a sudden, we got a tie for first here in the NL East between these 2 teams. So It's a big-time series this weekend. I think you just got to ride the momentum of the Phillies. Good at home. Wheeler's been great. Tidwell, the one start he made, he was awful. So for me, it's Phillies team total over 4.5, -128, maybe -1, -132. Full game run line I'm interested in for Philadelphia, but I think they keep the momentum going. And I think they come into this series with a point to prove here. Like, hey, we've caught you for first. We're going to overtake you for first. I mean, the Mets are vulnerable right now. They're not playing it good baseball at all right now at the moment. C-Mac, what do you think here? Mets, Phillies.
Yeah, it's just a big question mark here with Blade. I was going to say Blade Tidwell.
Yeah, Blade Tidwell. Not to mention the Mets have feasted on home field all year, City Field. On the road, they've been not very good. It's another thing.
Yeah, on the road against better teams, it just hasn't worked out for him. The one thing is, while he's had some good starts and already won earlier this year, I think he just went 6 and gave up 1. The Mets have hit Wheeler, though, the last couple of years. They've had some games, where they've got to him, scored 4 or 5 runs. So, they desperately need their offense here because, talk about limping. Limp right here. They need a win bad. So, I can't take them.
They got swept by Tampa Bay at home and then got swept in Atlanta, the Mets.
Then got swept in Atlanta. I looked at them yesterday. I couldn't back them. It's tough for me here. Until they start playing a little bit better, something turns around. I can't take. So. Yeah.
No, I mean, if you're betting momentum right now, and if you believe in the old Teddy Covers theory, ride the hot, fade the cold, you're definitely betting the Phillies tonight because they are definitely the hot commodity right now.
Yeah, and they're on the road with with Tiddy here, Blade Tidwell. I don't know what we get. I don't know. Shit. Maybe he pitched well. There's not enough that I've seen of him going through everything, and even that first start that I can look their way.
Reds and Cardinals. We've got Brady Singer and Andre Palante. The pitching matchup. St. Louis -145, home favorites, 9 the total. It's actually gone up from 8.5, and I agree. I think there's an over. Both of these teams are hitting right now, swinging the bats well. Cardinals are red hot offensively right now. Very, very impressive with what we've seen from them. Cardinals have scored 8 runs in 4 straight. Now, they were all against the White Sox, but still, their offense is humming. 4 straight overs as well. Singer can be vulnerable at times. Meanwhile, I don't like Palante all that much. He's given up 4 runs or more, and 3 of his last 4 starts haven't been good. 4 straight starts have gone over for Palante as well. So I like this over quite a bit. It's one of my favorite bets on the board tonight. Over 8.5. I like it at 9 as well. C-Mac, what do you think?
Yeah, especially the 8.5. I think it's good. I think even the 9's okay, but if you have the 8.5, even with a little bit of juice, I think it's better. 5-4, 7-2. You know how much it lands fucking on there, like crazy. So that's where I like it, and the 9's pushing it out. Both offenses, the numbers I see, I think Singer has a tough time, and Palante just can't be trusted right now. And you mentioned it, Cardinals, they're back here at home. Beat up on White Sox like you should, score a bunch of runs, where they play better baseball. So their team total, I think, is a solid look in this game, and the over.
All right, next up, it's the Milwaukee Brewers and the Minnesota Twins. Mizorowski on the mound here. I like this young kid. He's got some potential. And Joe Ryan for the Minnesota Twins. Twins -150, the total 8. This could be a low-scoring game. I like Mizorowski. We saw his one start in the big leagues with the Brewers. He pitched very well in that game. I think he's got some quality stuff. I'm tempted to take the Brewers here, first 5 full game. I really am, because I think there's great value here with Mizorowski. But the problem is, Joe Ryan's been pretty good, very good, in fact, and he's really pitched well here at Target Field, here at home. So it's not easy to fade Joe Ryan. He's been very good. But Minnesota, the team, has not been very good of late until finally yesterday. Unfortunately, they smacked around Nick Martinez. Well, it was not all unfortunate. I had the over, but I also had the Reds yesterday. But they smacked around Nick Martinez, Minnesota. But before that, they were slumping mightily. I'm still very tempted to take Milwaukee. I like this price with this Mizorowski kid, but I do admit it's not easy to fade Joe Ryan. He's been very good, very consistent. Maybe an under perhaps two pitchers that could be bet on here. C-Mac, how about you? Brewers, Twins.
Yeah, I was looking at that a little bit. In the end, it might be off in this game. It's because I just don't love the Twins. If I had to take them, which I'm looking at, I just don't know what Mizorowski would get. Like, I wanted to fade him against Chicago. That was the best bet. I mean, it was scratched. The Cubs still got a bunch of runs yesterday with Peralta. Is this going to help him? I think so. Instead of pitching at Wrigley, he's got unbelievable stuff. He still walks too many. And going through the Twins just aren't the most patient team. They're off scoring a bunch of runs because I kind of want to fade him here. Just it's a tough start on the road. But my troubles with the Twins a little bit, even though they've been better to me this year. It seems like the ultimate flat spot. Yeah, maybe this is just a dead under. So, yeah, I just got to keep it a lean.
There we go. Arizona, Colorado. Zach Gallen and Austin Gomber, the pitching matchup here. Diamondbacks -160, road favorites, 11.5 the time. I'm tempted again by these red-hot Colorado Rockies, although they finally lost yesterday, albeit in extra innings. Heartbreaker for me, taking Colorado again. But they were very good to me in that Washington series. Unfortunately, they couldn't win the last one. But still, I mean, they are playing a little bit better, but you're going cross-country travel from Washington back home. Gomber was very, very good in his return to the rotation last time we saw him pitch. But that was on the road. His home numbers haven't always been good here at Coors Field. I still lean Rockies. I think it could be an over if it's a high total, though, at 11.5. But Gallen hasn't been anything to write home about at all. He's had his issues. So this could be a game where there's runs. And Arizona's been an over machine lately. It's a combination of their lineup still capable, but they're decimated, C-Mac, by injuries. Starting pitching injuries, bullpen injuries. I mean, they are just completely ravaged in the pitching department. And it's showing. Like, they can't get outs. Bullpen stinks right now for the Arizona Diamondbacks. So I think it's an over if you're going to bet the total. C-Mac, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't trust pitching. And the bullpen, like the starters, I kind of want to, but there's not enough for me. I want the under here. Zach Gallen's he's just going out there and giving up 3 or 4, and the Rockies bats finally waking up. And this is because I want the under a little bit, even though this is, it's a nice day in Colorado. It's hitting weather. I mean, that's why we have this total. I mean, there's 12s too for part of the day. I just think it's kind of a flat spot, but I guess even a flat spot if you're both these teams traveling from Toronto and DC, there's still gonna be a bunch of runs because it's Coors Field. So as much as I want the under sticks, and there's no more 6.5 first 5 too, and there's just kind of a lot of success. Marte in this lineup. Carroll's out of the lineup again, though, I believe. Lineup's up. Yeah, he's not in. Again, Suarez has a few homers off Gomber. And I'd look to McMahon. He might be in my other play here for my Jack. McMahon. Let me look him up. Jack of the day today. Ryan McMahon.
Not a bad candidate. All right, Astros and Angels. We've got Hunter Brown and Yusei Kikuchi. The matchup here, Houston -160, road favorites, 8 the total in this game. Hunter Brown on the mound, for me, is Houston or pass. It's that simple. He's been that good. He's been that dominant for the Houston Astros. When he's on the mound, it's either I take the Astros or I pass. Price isn't great, but I did dabble in a Houston first 5 full game run line split here in this game. Now, Kikuchi's been capable, but, I find, with the way the Astros right now, if you look at the last few games, just and in overall, they've been hitting lefties good. I know Kikuchi's form has been okay, but I think it's definitely a situation where the Astros can still do some damage. They have owned the Angels as well, 8-2 in the last 10 meetings for the Houston Astros. So, yeah, Houston first 5, then full game run line. I split it up between the two. Hunter Brown's just been a bet-on guy for me all season. C-Mac, what do you think here? Houston, LA Angels.
I know, it's tough. He's been just so good. I mean, when I was looking at this is the under. I haven't bet this yet. I'll worry Kikuchi, even though at home, he's due to get hit.
Yeah.
I think that there's a big inning right around the corner with him. even his last start, he had 10 Ks, only 3 earned, 5 runs, 3 earned. I don't know. I can't take the Astros at this price, even though they're swinging the bats a little bit better. Did lose last night, but I'm glad the A's hit that 2-run homer. I had to push on that over. So yeah, I can't take it. Here, I'm off. Lean under.
All right, Kansas City Royals, San Diego Padres. We've got Michael Lorenzen, Nick Pivetta. The pitching matchup. San Diego, minus 145, home favorite, 7.5 the total. A lot of money coming in on Kansas City, quite a bit, in fact, here, because this line's gone down about 40 cents here in this game. You got to wonder, and I'm going to bring this up too when we talk about the Dodgers later. Some of that due to the fact that maybe it's an emotional, mental hangover spot. I mean, that 4-game series, Padres-Dodgers, holy shit, man. That was something else. The intensity, the vitriol, obviously the shenanigans at the end of the game last night in the ninth inning. Tatis Jr. gets plunked. Ohtani gets plunked. You've got fucking the 2 managers, Dave Roberts and Schilt, almost going at it. I mean, it turned into something else. Benches cleared. Maybe an emotional hangover. Maybe that explains all the money here for Kansas City. It's just a hangover spot, and it could be for the Dodgers. We'll talk about that later. But Michael Lorenzen's definitely been spotty, and Kansas City as a team, has obviously struggled to swing the bats. That being said, they just went to Texas, and Texas played pretty good at home, and Kansas City swept them. So maybe a little positive momentum here for the Royals. So I did grab a little Royals plus money here. Not because I love Lorenzen or I love the Royals or I think the Padres are obviously, we know they're the better team, but it can't possibly not be a little bit of an emotional hangover for the Padres after what they just went through against the Dodgers. And we'll talk about that later with the Dodgers as well. C-Mac, what do you think here? Royals, Padres.
Yeah, I mean, this is showing like Lorenzen's going to have a pretty good start, I think, with this line coming down. It's been tough. He hasn't been very good on the road. But, yeah, I mean, after you play the Dodgers, 4 games like that and everything, it just seems like an under. I lean that way in this one, especially with the Royals. The bats a little bit. They put up some runs early the last few games. I mean, that's they won. A few of those, I think they had 3. In the first, so and score more runs for sure. Witt the big guy had a couple home runs. They have Joe C. Is he's going to be good. I think he could be a 40 home run. That guy gets that much power. Yep. I think so. They need it bad as well. So yeah, I kind of lean Royals, but I just don't love it enough. Maybe them first 5.
Yeah.
Lorenzen's tough for me, though.
That's the issue. He hasn't been great.
Yeah.
No, he hasn't been great. So
I've backed him at times. He can have decent stuff. We've seen it. He's a 4-7 with a 4.91 ERA. It's kind of like he's that type pitcher.
That's what he is. He can be good certain days and he can get absolutely ripped, on other days. It's just which one is it going to be, from one start to the next. That's always the issue that you run into with him. All right, Cleveland Guardians and the Athletics. We've got the Guardians minus 125, road favorites, 9 the total in this game. It is Springs and Bybee, the pitching matchup here in this one between these two teams. It's been a tough year for Jeffrey Springs. There's no question, 4.52 ERA. And what concerns me about Jeffrey Springs here is the propensity for home runs. 12 home runs allowed in the 13 games started. That's not good either. Not what you want to see in this ballpark. Meanwhile, you've got Tanner Bybee here for the Cleveland Guardians, and he's entering this start. And I'll tell you what, he has had some home run issues. 14 he's allowed in his 14th. That's the thing that stuck out to me here. 2 guys that give up home runs in a ballpark like this, it's not what you want to see. So I think it could go over the total here in this one, Cleveland and the A's. I bet it over 9 just because you got 2 guys that have really struggled to keep the ball in the park at times, and a stadium and a ballpark that just has yielded home runs in bunches pretty much all year. So I like the over here. And both bullpens, especially the A's bullpen, used a lot last night against Houston, so there could be some runs late as well. C-Mac, how about you here, Cleveland and the A's?
Yeah, I just, this move is a little bit, I don't get. I mean, because Guardians aren't scoring any runs. I mean, I had their team total under 2.5. You know, it was plus money yesterday. I thought Webb would pitch well.
Yeah.
That they haven't, and they haven't been very good against lefties really all year. They've had some spurts, but they haven't been great. But this seems like the spot they could score runs. I just, you know, all the money, of course, is the game there. Of course, it's on over, but it's 9.5 to 9. I just think Bobby could hit a little bit.
It's also a lower total than we've seen lately in these home games.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not getting the 10.5s, 11 anymore here. Yeah.
I mean, they think Springs is going to have pitch well. That could be true. So maybe the A's team total, but I think Guardians could get enough, even though I don't trust this team right now the way they're hitting. Yeah, the move is I don't get, because I think at 9, it could get over.
All right, Washington Nationals, LA Dodgers. Yay, they won a game yesterday. They snapped the double-digit, 11-game losing streak for the Nationals. They finally win yesterday, extra innings over Colorado. Now they got to take on the Dodgers. Battle of lefties, Mackenzie Gore and Clayton Kershaw on the mound. Dodgers minus 200 home favorites, 8 the total. God, this is ugly. Be careful. This bet's not for the faint of heart. But I'm on Washington, first 5 full game money line here, split. You just don't go through the kind of series that the Dodgers went through against San Diego and not suffer at least some kind of little hangover, a little bit of something. I could see them being flat tonight here in this game. Now, Clayton Kershaw is starting to get his form back. He's given up 1 run or less in 3 of his last 4 starts. He had 1 bad outing against the Mets, but he's been better lately. 1 run in his last 12 innings. That's a good sign for the Dodgers. And it's going to be about what we get from Mackenzie Gore. And we know Washington during that losing streak had issues scoring runs. But just don't love this spot. Really hate this spot for the Dodgers. Coming off that intense series with the Padres. Like I said, Dave Roberts and Mike Schild almost came to blows. The bench is cleared. You got pitchers throwing at the other hitters on the other team, and just the animosity and the bad blood and the way that ended. And it's just, I think it's a difficult emotional spot to get up again for the LA Dodgers here. And I don't usually buy into those kind of spots in baseball as much as the other sports, but I think it matters, and you got to factor it in here in this game. And Gore does have a solid 2.89 ERA this year for the Nationals. He's been solid, and he's in very good form here in the month of June. In fact, you go back to May 23rd, and Mackenzie Gore's given up just 5 earned runs in his last, 6, 12, 31 innings with just 5 earned runs allowed for Mackenzie Gore entering tonight. So he's been in really solid form for the Nationals, giving them a chance to win every time he's taken the mound. So I'm going in on the Nats here tonight. First 5 money line, first 5 or full game money line split. If you want to be safer, you could go first 5 plus a half, on the run line instead, just if you want to play it a little safer. But I think this is a spot to fade the Dodgers. I really do, coming off that San Diego series. And Gore's in great form, so I'm going to take my shot. It could look stupid because there's a 1-11 baseball team in their last 12 games, but Nationals first 5 full game split for me. C-Mac, what do you think here? Nats, Dodgers.
I think it's an under. I worry, Dodgers could get to Gore. And what I was looking at here, Kershaw, I think he could be good enough here. I was looking at, as much as the Nats could be live, this just leads to the under. Is the Nats team total under? I mean, it's 3.5. I got minus 105. I've been looking at that. I just think we got a low scoring game. I think Kershaw can hold down. Gore's been pretty good. He had 1 pretty good starts against the Dodgers. He had 1 last year or the year before. I remember it. He gave up 4 runs. He gave up 3 homers. And a few of these Dodgers hit left, but Kike's not hot right now. But anytime he's a lefty, he's 3 for 7 with a homer off Gore, of course. That's all he hits is lefties. But Freeman, Ohtani's 3 for 6 with a homer. Some guys that have some really good numbers. But it just seems, like that flat spot. So I don't blame the first 5 of the Nats. I might have a piece of it. I don't know yet. But I'm looking at the under. Nats team total under.
All right, Boston Red Sox, San Francisco Giants, our last game. We've got Hunter Dobbins and Hayden Birdsong, the pitching matchup. Giants minus 130, home favorites, 7.5 the total in this game. 23-13 at home for the Giants. Birdsong, for the most part, especially at home, has pitched pretty well this year. He's pitched pretty well overall, 2.79 ERA, but especially the home starts. Shut out Texas, shut out the Rockies at home, just 2 runs against Arizona at home, shut out Kansas City at home, just 2 runs allowed against Atlanta at home. It's just been really, really good in this ballpark. Hayden Birdsong. I know Boston, it doesn't make sense because they trade Rafael Devers and suddenly they're 7-1 in their last 8 games. They've started to win all of a sudden. Makes no sense. But this is a fascinating series because now, of course, you've got the chance to play his old team. Rafael Devers now is a member of the Giants. I know he'll be amped up for this series. I like the Giants here, minus 130. Reasonable price to back Birdsong. He's been good at home. Giants have a very good home record overall. 23-13. So I'm on the Giants here, San Francisco, minus 130. I know Boston's playing well, but I don't trust Dobbins either. I don't think Dobbins is great. I know he's pitched a little bit better lately, but I look at him as a fringe arm. That's all. And I think Birdsong's got the higher upside. So I'm on San Fran here. C-Mac, what do you think? Red Sox, Giants?
Giants have been good at home. I still don't trust the bats. It's a long time ago. It seems like they were scoring a shit ton of runs. Because they have just not been good all year, even back at home where they have a good record. I think the Red Sox are a little bit live here. Dobbins is the big question mark. Their pitching's just been great the last week or so. The Yankees series where they shut them down, the bullpen's been better. They had a day off. Like, to me, if they could get them, it'd be tonight. So I kind of like the Red Sox here, plus 115, right around 115 tonight.
Yeah, I can't argue with that because Giants aren't scoring a ton of runs right now. Their offense has struggled, but I think I'm not sold on Dobbins yet. I'm hoping this is a night that the Giants.
Birdsong's been good. Maybe it's just dead under again.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I would lean.
on
for sure. I would lean on. This game. I think that might be even better than either side here in this game. All right, shout out to the chat. We appreciate you guys joining us on a Friday. Hit the like button. C-Mac, anything more for Jack of the Day and home run props that you like?
No, I mentioned McMahon earlier, plus 425 for his, and I looked at Machado. I'll see if I can get 4-1 for his homer. But 3 for 7, they want to have a ton of runs, like you talked about. I'm waiting here too if Tatis will be in the lineup. Of course, Merrill's already still not in there. Machado really didn't do anything in that Dodger series. So I think he's a good look. Bogarts, too, finally has a good day. I mean, when's this guy going to do it? They paid him fucking $300 million. He's hitting 239 with 4 bombs. Like, this guy's just collecting a check out there. And he finally went 4 for 4 last night. Anyways. But, yeah, that's it. You on mute?
You can tell it's almost time to end the show because I'm starting to cough now. I almost got through the whole show without
coughing. You got me coughing. It's like your sickness went through the screen.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, but there we go. So, but we made it. Home run props. As far as I'm concerned, there are a few that stand out for me here on the board today. But like I said, I think certainly for me, you could look at. I'm just trying to see here. There's a couple games I think could be good home run game. That Cleveland game is kind of the one that stands out to me, where we definitely could see some runs and some home runs and some long balls in that game. And remember, I've talked about how both of those guys have really been guilty of giving up home runs. Brent Rooker has a home run against Bybee, plus 400. Carlos Santana has one against Jeffrey Springs, plus 560. Really good. Ramirez against Springs could be worth a look as well in that one, no question. Sal Perez against Pivetta. He's homered against Nick Pivetta for the Royals, and I think the Royals could be live in that game. There's one to maybe consider. Ketel Marte has homered twice against Gomber. Hunter Goodman has homered against Zach Gallen. So there's a couple in that Rockies Diamondbacks game as well, as far as home run props that might be worth a look as well that I sprinkled on here tonight. Those are the main ones. I think the earlier games, there's not nearly as many. Although I do kind of like Nimmo and Soto have both homered. Now, again, the Mets stink, and I like the Phillies in that game. But that doesn't mean you can't sprinkle on a couple Mets. Soto's homered 3 times against Wheeler, and Brandon Nimmo is homered twice against him. So, you could even dabble with Nimmo.
There's good guys with good numbers. Lindor, decent numbers, a few others. The Mets against Wheeler.
Dangerous because they're struggling as a team right now, but they do have the numbers, no doubt, against Zach Wheeler. All right, best bets to wrap things up for not only the Friday show, but for the week. As well. C-Mac, best bet, what do you got?
Best bet. Shit. I'll have to give out, there's still 7.5 here. Texas, Pittsburgh, under 7.5. Under.
All right, Texas and Pittsburgh under. My best bet, let's go to that game. We already mentioned it. I think I mentioned that it might be my favorite bet on the board tonight. Not maybe. It is my favorite bet on the board. We're going to go with that Cincinnati St. Louis over 8.5, -115, -120. I think we're going to see runs in that game. Don't trust Brady Singer. Don't trust Palante. And I do trust the 2 lineups. The Reds have been hitting lately. The Cardinals have been hitting lately. Both of these teams have been trending over the total in their games lately as well. So Reds and Cardinals for a Friday night over for my best bet for this edition of the MLB Hitting the Book show. Shout out to the chat. Nick Alvento, Justin McKelvey, Zoe, Tone Megans, Vincent Hawkins, everyone else, Sandra, Sir Minaro, Old E, Timothy Hake. Appreciate everybody joining us here on this edition of the MLB Hitting the Book show. Hit the like button. We were just talking before the show, C-Mac and I, that after the All-Star break, we're going to get some college football previews going. Conference winners, a few season win totals, you name it. We're not going to be able to go through every team in every conference, but we'll pick teams and conferences that we have stronger opinions on and go from there. And we'll start to roll those out mid-late July. So stay tuned for that here on the Hitting the Books channel. We're still going to do baseball shows for you, but we're going to start gearing up and getting you ready for college football. And then, of course, once we get into late August, you know it's coming. Every Monday, we love doing the show. Monday afternoons, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. Every Monday, all college football season long. The early look ahead, all the weeknight games, the majority of the big Saturday games of the college football slate. It's one of the most fun shows that I do, honestly. Early week college football previews and analysis, early week opinions. You kind of get yourself thinking about, wow, what do I really like on the college football card for the upcoming week? Yeah. It's a great show. You guys know, because everyone here that's subscribed to the channel knows how that's, I don't know, C-Mac, that's one of the best shows I do. I mean, the Ice Guys, I got to put number 1 just because it's that good, and I've been doing it for that long for hockey. But this show that you and I do for college football on Mondays, the early week look ahead, that's about as good a show as I do, honestly.
I agree. I think I love it. I love doing it too. It makes you just that much better. And then it gets you, because, it just sits with me all week. We go over that. Even we're trying to give information. We're not betting all these games that early. But, I absolutely love it. We'll have it all broken down too afterwards, the individual games too on the channel. And I pumped. I was telling man, I was at the book. I got all these college football stacks to look at of everything conference, week 1 already here. So I'm already heading that way, especially the All-Star break. There's a nice days where you just get to relax or something. You have days off, which is just don't. This is basically 365, but you get to do that, which I've kind of done. Even if you go somewhere like on vacation, those 2 or 3 days, you get to college football. At least that's what I do.
No doubt. Like, I've already started for the last, I would say, 3-4 weeks prepping for NFL and college football, but I get the majority of it done that All-Star break week when I don't even have to focus on baseball at all. That's when I get the lion's share of it, the majority of it done. And then I'm really ready to go. And that's why we're going to start after All-Star break. Once All-Star break's gone, you can throw any college team or any NFL team at me, and I'm ready to give you my opinion on them. And that's what we aim to do here. Definitely, no question. Shout out to everybody. Great week of shows as always. For Connor, Mac, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Friday night and a great weekend. Enjoy the games and good luck. And we will be back on Monday, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, for another edition of the MLB Hitting the Books show. Until then, class dismissed.
Peace.